Good afternoon, class. So today is 13th of June and we will have to cover the current affairs of today. So first policy that the government have now come out as they have basically banned the opinion of the expertise and disclassification of the official information from the individual who have worked in the sensitive post in the security agencies. They cannot write, comment or talk about it. They have talked about a major policy shift in which India's which has not been basically working upon the declassification of any information with regard to the archival record and the other things that it had. India have now changed that particular philosophy and they have now opted for the declassification, compilation and publication of the war and the operation histories by Ministry of Defense. It was asked that all kind of other experts and the operations that were conducted or any sensitive information regarding them will be made common to the public or not. So on that particular, the Defense Ministry have said that basically they will release this particular information on case to case basis. So basically it can also be taken advantage from the election point of view, and maybe this is a long haul that the BJP is currently preparing for, that they will only declassify such information that will paint the people in the wrong picture of the things that they have done. So we will again have to see what they will do and how they will do it. So these are the other things that we currently have to look for. So I hope this is clear. The next one is the Operation Olivia. So I hope you remember this Operation Olivia is with respect to the protection of the turtles. There are three major threats to the olive ridley turtles: predation by the dogs, indiscriminate fishing, and the beach soil erosion. So there is around the clock persons who are basically taking help of the surveillance and other things. Ferry boats and the other persons are also in the nearby, or helicopters are also keeping a vigil on the olive ridley turtles so that they could be protected. They are generally vulnerable under IUCN list, and all the 5 species that are found in India of turtles, sea turtles basically, are generally belonging to Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So you should remember it. The next news is related to Coast Guard induct 3 ALH-MK3 helicopters. So this is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, who have basically given with in-house customization at different location for the assistant of the Coast Guard in which they are currently working. So I hope this is clear. Do not remember the whole name, just have to remember that they have also gotten some things. So this is an interview, you can read more about it. Although this is a individual opinion of a former lead economist of World Bank, but still his opinion matter with regard to the things that happened in USA, China and India. If you do not have any idea regarding what happens during the pandemic, that India was termed as a success story in the first phase of the pandemic, but in the second form of pandemic, it have related to the disregard to the norms by the government, political parties, and also by the individual at a whole other level. So that have led to the substantial rise with regard to the cases, and second wave of pandemic have occurred in India. So that has been the thing that have basically happened here. इस बात को ध्यान रखिएगा. The next news is G7 leaders take on China, plan to stop new pandemic. So G7 leader collective catalyzation of the vaccine availability and funds and distribution are the other efforts that they have basically talked about. They now have started cooperation with regard to the vaccine nationalism, and there have been expansion that they are talking about with regard to the things and the issues of democracies, maintaining a type of build back better world that is aimed at the Belt Road Initiative of China. And then there is global surveillance, assessment, record, audit measures that are needed to basically known from the Carbis Bay Declaration to hail, prevent the future infections and the pandemics. So that has been the other case that is currently being debated. The next news is 25% vaccine for private hospitals will aggravate inequity or not. So of course it will, because there are only 10% of the people who are or could afford to basically buy this particular vaccine, and 90% of the total, although it has been suggested that much of the vaccines, if it is needed to be administered to the common people, should only be procured by the government. But the government now have decided that 25% will be made to the private sector, which should be, as said by the economists, should be at about 10% or at about 15% at most, but not 25%. So that has been the case. The next one is the Bharita Lashukas tapani. So this Bharita Lashukas tapani is a reptile which have a big head, large teeth, and predated smaller reptiles, and it is currently basically 240 million years ago. So that has been the case which have been living in the state of India. Now, this is a study that has been conducted by Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, and the study of Verapalli Foundation, the place where it has been located in Telangana. तो ये चीज़ें वहाँ पे थी, इसको छोड़ दीजिए, मॉलिक्यूलर वाला इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. Bitcoin push El Salvador, I hope you remember, have become the first country to basically allow Bitcoin. But please remember, this country does not have a central bank, so therefore they do not have any monetary policy in place that is currently conducted, and they neither do have to worry about it. So when we talk about the drawback that is linked to the monetary policy of the federal bank, and the idea is to basically mitigate the negative impact from the central bank policy after the rate or the interest rate decline with regard to the Central Bank of USA, because they use USA currency. इस बात को ध्यान रखिएगा. Okay, next one is the reviving the spirit of the multilateralism. So this is what the G7 group are meeting for. So this is very important article, please remember. Now, when we talk about the 47th edition of the G7, it was held in England, and it is basically for the promotion and the collaboration of the countries which are liberal democracy and eager for multilateral cooperation. Now, this has moved away from the Trump's traditional approach to the world politics, that is the transactionalism that he have basically brought into the international relation. The G7 have discussed a whole slew of topics. One of them was the minimum corporate tax, or the race to the bottom, and needed to be stopped so that the companies could also be made accountable for the profits that they are earning. G7 was constructed as a group after the aftermath of the 1973 oil crisis. At that particular time, these G7 countries have basically contributed about 60% of the total GDP of the world, but now their share have declined to approximately 40% of the total GDP. So there have been a rather innovative discussion with regard to involving new members from the members into the G7s, and in that there have been 4 countries who have been majorly in discussion: Australia, South Korea, South Africa, and India. So these have been the 4 nations. There is only one nation, Asian nation, that is Japan. So that GDP is also equivalent to India, so they will be called as D10 countries if these 4 nations or 3 nations would be involved, with the exception of South Africa, which is not on the board to be involved. Now, with regard to that, there are other nations, they are also needed to be done, because when we talk about the 15% multilateral trade, there is an advantageous position that is being sought, in which Mr. Biden claims that there will be a total profit of approximately $500 billion that they will be receiving. India is basically looking out for a taxation of approximately $10 to $12 billion that it will be receiving, but there will be other nations who will not be eager to basically go with the minimum 15% alternative tax because of the compulsions at home, because the smaller countries will also be pushing that the minimum taxes should not be paid, because it will ensure that the developed nation should remain developed and the poor nation will remain developed. The one thing that the poorer nation basically provide is a type of a tax structure that is slightly lesser as compared to the developed countries, so they will have certain advantages in attracting the businesses, and they could use the profits that the companies are making and the taxation that they impose on these particular profits for the benefit and the social equity among the people. But that is basically not happening. Now, when we talk about the other issues that has been pertaining to G7, so the initial issues in 1970s after the aftermath of the oil crisis was the exchange rate growth, inflation, and energy security that they need to maintain. In 1990s, it have led to the multinational capital flow of earning of markets and the reduction in the welfarism, that is the social structure of the society is needed to be replaced with the mixed economy so that the capitalists could better perform. Other than that, in 1998, the Russia's admission happened to G8 because it also contributed a fair share of contribution to the world GDP, so therefore it was adopted. And in 2014 there was expression after they have annexed Crimea, and in that there have been Cornwall summit in which Australia, South Korea, and India has been recognized as the increasing influence, and they also want to basically target China, a type of a group that is currently anti-China. So that has been the case here, and that has been the issue that is happening here. So I think that is it for today. Yeah, तो अभी के लिए इतना ही करते हैं. And other issues are, I think, the global health and all, तो उनको पढ़ लीजिएगा. And please remember the name, Krejcikova. So she had basically won the maiden Grand Slam singles title, beating Russia's Anastasia Palagu. So she is a Czech woman, and Chikova से ही याद रखिएगा, Czech woman. So I hope this is clear. So that is it for today.